Ryback Show starts now. Welcome to the Ryback Show. I am your host, the big guy, Ryback. Happy Monday, ladies and gentlemen. We are streaming live on Instagram and TikTok, the big guy, Ryback22. Thank you guys for joining in over there. Swing on over here to Ryback TV on YouTube, where you are the co-host of this show. The ebb and flow of the show goes where your questions goes, ladies and gentlemen. Health, fitness, supplementation, pro wrestling, sports, and anything and everything in between. Super chats are always greatly appreciated and brought up on the screen. The Big Guy Starbucks and Shoulder Scar Tissue Relief Fund, and also the Truth Always Wins Fund, and which we have new merch coming, dropping any day, which we will be heavily promoting moving forward, where it says the Truth Always Wins, with my R is the Ryback R in Truth, with that in various colors, with that and t-shirts, tank tops, sweaters. And I got to see, I don't know if they're going to do it on the drinkware. We're going to see, but I'm going to be heavily promoting that in my quest to getting Elon Musk to fix my Twitter and staying on that. And I think that shirt is highly relevant to everything going on in the world, and that we all, wherever we are in the world, we want the truth to win, and the truth always does win. The truth always wins. It just may take time, but so we're going to be going hard on that as we get everything rocking and rolling here. We are streaming live on Twitch at Ryback Rules, and Twitter today at Ryback. A lot going on over there on old Twitter land over there. This show's available on all podcast platforms. iTunes reviews are greatly appreciated. Thank you guys, all of our audio listeners out there. I think we're like number 90 or something for right now on the audio, not overall. Overall, we're at the very top up there. Overall listens, like with streaming and YouTube and the audio and when you add in Twitter, everything. It's so, but I always want those audio numbers to continue to improve, because that used to be the big platform for us. And then I went very diverse on that and went a little different route, which is more beneficial for me. And I feel long-term in everything that I'm doing, but we still want that audio to continue to grow. So check that out over there on all podcast platforms. This show is brought to you by My Feed Me More Nutrition. Premium supplement line sweetened with stevia and monk fruit. No harmful artificial sweeteners or colors. For all people, men and women, he, she, and thee. Feedmemore.com. We've got all the Ryback merch. I've got the Feed Me More white and orange Feed Me More shirt on. We've got all kinds of merch over there, guys. All kinds of good, really good quality stuff. Check all that out. And the discount codes are in the description and the comments after this on both the audio and the video. All right, let's get going. What do we got going on today? Hope everyone had a great weekend. A lot of scar tissue work, and made some more breakthroughs on the shoulder. Continue to get in better and better shape. I am dieting quite hard right now. Adding in more and more cardio, more and more sauna, and we got my body, getting my body fat down to hopefully the lowest it's ever been. And I'm really happy with where I'm sitting right now, and just got to get this shoulder is ready to get cleared as humanly possible. Good to see all of you. Somebody says, hey, my name is CJ. Can I get a happy birthday today? CJ, I do hope you have a happy birthday. And, you know, I saw you made multiple posts on here, and it's, I've never been one. I don't want to knock the hustle for getting happy birthdays, but I just don't understand it. I don't know I'm not the type that will like go around and like, hey, it's my birthday, tell me happy birthday. Like I don't know what that brings, but I also don't, maybe you didn't get told you happy birthday a lot growing up. This is possible. I always think about this. I go, it depends. I had great birthdays as a kid, never really wanted them, which is why I think I choose not to really. I celebrate every day of life. I don't really do stuff for my birthday. I've always just been that way. And not that I'm against it in any way, but I've had great birthday parties all growing up and whatnot, but I've just never like on the day of my birthday, an age probably maybe has something to do with it. Even though when I was a kid, we had the online, and I never felt the need to just go and like, hey, I'm going to shoot Big Papa Pump, Scott Steiner, an email and just say, Hey, Papa Pump, you wish me a happy birthday? It's my birthday. Like I don't understand the reasoning behind it, but I'm not going to hate on it. I just don't understand it. But if it makes you feel good that I told you happy birthday this fine Monday, well, happy birthday, damn it, CJ. Now get out after this show's over and go live in the real world. Oh, you got me. You go, no, nah. It's something I wanted to screen record and show the family. Thanks, bro. Ah, very sneaky of you there. You guys could see how a lot of fans can be very selfish with what they do. Very selfish of you, CJ. Those what cameos are for. People pay money to get the happy birthdays. But hey, as long as you feel good about the situation, happy birthday. Tell your family. I want you to cut the clip on the lecture that I gave you too. But hey, it's my birthday. Can you say happy birthday? Hey, I think I'm going to go ahead and message you so after this. Hey, so it's my birthday. Can you tell me happy birthday? Ah, happy birthday. Like, how many people are you going to do it? Is this the day? Is the birthday day? Like, you do nothing in the real world for your birthday, but you see how many people you could screen record to say happy birthday, and then you just share that with the family all day? Is that what you do? It's just different. I'm not knocking it. I just everyone chooses to celebrate their birthdays in different ways. Hey, no matter what though, you got the big guy Ryback saying it on camera today and on the audio. We'll live forever, forever. You can go back when you're 75 years old. That guy Ryback, that ultra wealthy billionaire, wished me a happy birthday when he was 41. Ah, the memories. Yeah, everyone wish CJ a happy birthday. CJ, go ahead and screen record the chat also of everyone wishing you a happy birthday. Jesus. Everyone, we'll constantly remind everybody CJ's birthday today on here. I don't think I've ever seen CJ in here once, but CJ's here today for a happy birthday. And I thank you for joining the Ryback Show on your birthday. Watch CJ comes back. He's 8. CJ's 8, and CJ, can you please reveal your age? I was assuming you were. I just assume everybody's older. It's very possible CJ could just be a little kid in here. But I still want you to go play kickball and tetherball and get out on those streets. Not like in like a ghetto, way, but like a hungry, like athletic, go get them, American spirit attitude kind of way. All right. Super chat smash ultra. Thank you very much. I have demo Street Fighter 6 and I'm going to create my own Ryback there and name him Ryan Von Shellshock. Wonder if you'd like to play it. Why can't you just leave the character's name as Ryback? Nobody's going to know Ryan Von Shellshock if you create it. You need to keep it as Ryback. And I would like to be a combination of Ken, Ryu, and Guile, please. I would like you to be able to mesh my character off of those 3 characters. Ken and Ryu are pretty much identical, but I always played as those 3 guys the majority of the time. Maybe throw in a splash of Bison. Splash of Bison. Got some boss in me. Okay? Okay. Thank you very much. Good to see all of you. Welcome to the Ryback Show. Hopefully, we've got a good amount of people in here from TikTok. I'd like to get those back up into the thousands. They'll get that TikTok. I'd like to see that 3,000 to 4,000 range watching the live at any time. That gets the blood going, gets the blood flowing and moving, and it kicks up that adrenaline a notch or two when you get even more people in here. I've seen a lot of people on Twitter making community creations of Ryback or the big guy for the WWE 2K23. I do thank you guys for keeping me alive. It is a very unfortunate situation, though, and I am not aware. I just found this out, and I would have to do a little homework on it. But apparently, the 2K games have been using my brand and likeness that are trademarked and owned by me as the big guy and keeping all my mannerisms and everything in those games. And they have not paid me since I've left WWE on any of the video games because I've not been in them. But they have allowed my move set and everything, from what I understand, to be left in so people can make me, it's great for fans. it's great for the game, and it's not great for me in the sense of that is a very one illegal and deceitful thing to do, and it's really unfortunate, but that is the way that is par for the course with everything that they do. And this could be revisited at any point in time, and I look forward to looking at every if it happened from probably my guess is it's probably from 2016, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23 that they have 8 years of games, 7 or 8 years of games of using me without paying. That could be a very, very nice situation in the right time and place. Thank you very much. Nicolo Gallo, thank you very much. Feed me more from Italy. Love you, man. Thank you very much. I've had the pleasure of wrestling in Italy once or twice, and it was a fantastic time. The Man, yeah, I definitely we were I was multiple places over there, but I remember I had a very good time. Great crowds too. Great crowds, those international crowds over there. We've got a super sticker. Thank you very much for the support. Nicolo Gallo followed up with the super chat. What do we got going on today? Thank you very much for saying that you love the Wake Up Unlimited Energy, our high energy pre-workout energy formula. Feed Me More Nutrition on feedmemore.com. A lot of people wishing CJ a happy birthday. Hello, hello. Hey, Ryback, can you solve some math or physics problems? I actually was very good at math growing up until I could tell you where I realized that I was never going to use it in anything in my life that at least that I wanted to do. And it doesn't, and but it did get increasingly more difficult for me. But also though a big part of it was that I was really into baseball and football and sports, and was I believe my year in high school. Up until that point, I was almost always straight A or A and some B's every. But I was a pretty. I would if you went back and looked at my report cards over the years, I think would say I was a solid student throughout my years of schooling. But it was algebra 2, I think is where I algebra 2, and then the following year there was one other math, and that might have been even in college. And I remember that I was just it lost me. It lost me. And I really enjoyed that stuff growing up, which is wild to me because I don't enjoy that stuff now. But yeah, I won't be solving anything anything in the foreseeable future with that. Brother, this is news to me. I'd have to even clarify that this is true. So, allegedly, on one of the comments, your thoughts on Fox releasing Tucker Carlson and CNN firing Don Lemon today? I uh, I could tell you. So Tucker, I've seen things with Tucker, and where they talk about interesting things, and where it seems like I don't. It doesn't seem to rub me the wrong way on some of the things that I've seen. The other guy, the Don guy, excuse me, I can't watch clips of him. He just, I get a very, very bad vibe off of that guy, and just very evil. Where when I get that, like I tune out. Like I don't, I will not. I can't. Like it doesn't matter who he's talking. I can't even listen. So I don't know what the situation of exactly what happened to led to them, but like I think we're in dire need of a lot of adjustments here as a country and things, and things we need to. Nothing's going to get solved overnight, but we really need to change course a bit, and we need to find a way to kind of come together and unite and find a solution. that humanity, that we can continue to move forward and share and appreciate our common interest over petty indifferences and things in corruption. I think the big thing, and I'm living this, is the big problem is the corruption and the lies. And we live in a day and age where transparency and the truth are gold and silver. And we need to really, really go all in on those two things. And but I've always told you guys, this world has been a mess from the beginning of time, supposedly throughout all the civilizations and all the people before us. And it's like, we had it really good, and we could still have it really good, but we need to make some adjustments. And it's a scary thing. But I think that maybe that's a step in this stuff happening. And if Elon is truly doing everything that he's claiming, and with Twitter and letting the truth be free, and it's, I just think things are. We live in a world where everything with the E island, right? This is a big thing right here on this. That is not that, like, there's such a disconnect from with what's been really going on in this world to like the everybody, pretty much every, like, doesn't matter. It's not like it's select elites into this, whatever, the deep state, whatever you want to call it, all these different things. Like, there's just stuff where we live in a time, a day and age where we need to be transparent, and we need to be taking care of humans. And I don't know. It's like we're so far, are we so far gone where it's irreparable, or like I said, nothing can happen overnight. But if we could maybe start taking some steps, even if they're baby steps, in getting things back on track. But it's a scary thing, man, just with everything. I see people too, like on social media. I've done followed some people that I'd followed for a while, because I see what a lot of people too. This sucks with social. Like, they'll post a video, and it was a dad getting arrested, and the guys are trying to stir up people and get all the views and everything. And they post on in the video that they make the headline, "Dad gets arrested for piercing son's ear." But if you click on it and actually then go read the article, it was for the dad had supposedly was drunk, and the night before put his son in a headlock and pierced his ear against his will. Little different, adds a little different context to the story, right? Where you're like, but they were trying to get people to react off that, because there was like 4 or 5 cops. They were a little aggressive, and they didn't harm him, but they were pretty forceful, and they went into the home and they got him, and the wife is like, "What's going on?" And they got him out pretty quickly with that. But it wasn't just because he pierced his son's ear. There was, the kid reported in school, and it was more of a abuse in along those lines with that. So, and looking into the matter further, that is, if there wasn't a prior, other incidents and things. So, but like oftentimes people too, we don't stop and read, nor does everyone have the time to stop and read everything. But it sucks when you've got like people out there that are doing that, knowing that that's going to rile people up. And but then that's where it comes in awareness, where we have to be aware of this and be able to catch it and be able to, that's enough. That's enough for right now. Enough internet right now, and get away. And but a lot of just living crazy times with what can be achieved and what's getting done. And the less things people have to be happy about in their real lives, the angrier they seem to get on, social media with all these things. And it's a wild thing. Also, the latest update in 2K just randomly changed the move set and removed the shell shock from the finisher. What do they have? Yeah, it, they're going to be the problem with this is on their end. They could do anything on updates. The games can be bought for many years as long as it's on the original game too. They're stupid. I've told you guys this. They think that is something I could go revisit this at any point in time, and this is all going to add up. And I will. I swear to God, I will. This is not like this is They never cease to amaze me on how ignorant they are with all of this. Clearly, just beyond ignorant on the entire thing. To even do that, to even chance it. Why even chance that? Or if you're gonna, you pay the person to be in the game like you're supposed to do, to use their brand and likeness. Which, by the way, I own everything. Horrible, horrible, horrible move on WWE's part. Shame on them, but good for them, because good for me. Grim Reaper, thank you for the super chat. What are your thoughts on Google building AI, God? Yeah, I mean, I downloaded an app for the Chat GPT to see what this all was all about, and but as this technology advances, it's going to advance at a rapid rate with AI's ability to update and to update itself. I just we all are familiar with all the movies and everything, and we've seen movies in the past that have come to fruition, and like, Jurassic Park was just on yesterday. I watched a little bit of the Jurassic Park movies that were on when I was working on my shoulder. Watching those movies as a kid was just a movie. Never once did I never heard anyone talk about this could be our future someday. Watching that movie in 2023 is beyond terrifying, because that is how we are, and what were these people, and the incredibly intelligent people, but people that are devoted their lives to this and raised in family. Like, this is what they do, and they just keep trying to advance and keep trying to push the goalposts further and further out, and like just keep striving for more and more and more and more. And it's like, but in that striving for more and more and more that we've done as a human civilization, we have not filled in the gaps very efficiently on many things. And it seems the further out we get, the more hollow that the inside gets. And if you will, it's going to come down to, humans and us being aware, and this technology, though, these people, everyone's trying to make as much money as possible. And that's where this stuff, that's where the AI, that when you start replacing human workers with AI bots, and this is where it's going, companies will build these to replace humans. You'll have very rich people that are going to create these and manufacture these and sell these to the Amazons and the McDonald's and just every business that you could think of. And it will start in stages, and it will happen in stages usually with this. And it might seem slow at first, but it's already happening with this. It's going to create a lot of problems and things for humans. And this is where it's crazy. You would think that they're like the whatever the rules are. Rule number one: take care of humans. Make sure humans in the future of humans is okay. But it doesn't. I don't know. I just say thank you for every day, man. And and I know a lot of good can come from this stuff too, and a lot of good will come from this stuff. It's just that we see the evil that lives in this world, and right. And when you have people that are money driven and hungry for power, that are rooted in evil, because you have good people but they do good. They do massive amounts of good with it. And you have others that can do massive amounts of bad, or they're making money produces a bad effect down the line, and they don't care, and they should. But I don't know what's going to happen. I just know this stuff is advancing very rapidly, and it's pretty scary with where everything is at. And you know I've told you, I think we're going to be merged with AI, and we already are to a degree with this. But I do believe, like I said, I think we're going to have the ability, and everything's going to be based around what you could afford and whatnot. You want to learn how to speak a different language. You want to have every language ever created uploaded and know how to speak fluently. That will be $150,000. Boom, buy it, upload it into the program, and bam. Like, I really think at some point, and that's probably I would like to think a long ways away, but things like I just can see that being with, you know, or things to come, where humans programmed with a chip that can control our emotions with different things and through different signals. Like, there's people working on stuff like this, and where like for maybe severe disorders and things, like certain things can be beneficial, but then there's going to be, it's just going to be human is to be imperfect and to learn to overcome. And right, that was always the, now it's going to be, I just see in the future with all of this, and this is just one little aspect of it, that um we're just going to be merged with it more and more and more and more. Like God knows, like, can you imagine just going to sleep and you were allowed, like they woke you up in 100 years, and just to see where everything is at in 100 years? I can't even comprehend where it will be, because I don't think it's going to look anything like what it currently does. But I mean, that's just a guess based on how rapidly this is all kind of going. But you see too, like with with the other countries in China, Russia, nuclear weapons and things. We create these things that like all they, it's just pure destruction. And it's like, you don't think that they're going to do this with AI though, with like with that, you see the dogs and the fighting animals, or the patrolling robotic AI animals are already kind of testing, and they're working on this stuff. You don't think that they're working on war machines of things? You're crazy. There's no doubt that these people, this is, they have locked down somewhere hundreds of feet below, who knows, just working on this stuff. And I don't know, man. It's like those the we look and we see like the movies like Terminator and everything, and like they were seemed so ridiculous for the longest time, but like literally what we're doing, it's like we're doing it, and it's like, yeah, yeah, maybe we shouldn't be doing it, but I don't know what, and I know Elon's like one is like hell bent on life on Mars, and or interplanetary travel with things. It's like we are so imperfect on this planet, on our inability to, we have. I just saw a thing like the 62 richest people in the world have more wealth than 3.5 billion people combined, and of like just how poor, and like people just dying in other countries, and here in the United States, just that need basic care that would survive easily. And it's you just look at that and you just go like we're just going all these different directions. And like I said, the further out we keep going, the more hollow we kind of get. And that's not everybody, but I just think as in general. And so it's up to those of us just to try to stay aware, and just try to do our best to live our best lives. And but this stuff affects us in every way with the direction things go, right? So it's like now we have to, before I felt like with things going on that we could just live on our own world. And I always say sweep our own porch, because at the end of the day, that's all we can control, for the most part, sweeping our own porch and taking care of our own with that. But when their debris is now flying onto our porch nonstop, and now we got a problem. AI is already flying F-16 fighter jets. I believe it, man. I can't tell you how many jets I've been seeing go over the. Every once in a blue moon, I would see things up here, but I'm not air. The Air Force, Nellis Air Force Base is probably like 20-25 minutes from where I am. So the route, because I'm way up north near the mountains, we see all that stuff flying out here, and they've been doing a lot of flying the last couple of years, but even more so the last 6 months. There's been a lot of different jets, and the different planes they've got going. And they always just make, they're always doing stuff though, but it has increased from what it used to be, I've noticed. Good to see all of you. Welcome to the Ryback Show. Welcome everybody on TikTok, Instagram. Swing on over to Ryback TV on YouTube if you want to be a part of this show. I don't know if you've ever talked about this, but what do you think about WWE owning John Cena's name? I don't know what the situation is with John in that. I think it was on Howard Stern that he said that, didn't he? Um, They can't. I don't know enough about that situation and what's really going on. If they do or they don't, um, I don't know what that situation is with that. And he's clearly allowed to be John Cena and everything. But if that were the case, then he just wouldn't be able to like monetize like certain John Cena shirts or anything. But that doesn't matter because he has such a sweet deal with WWE anyways, and they make so much John Cena stuff. He's making so much money, and they do it all for him. Like he doesn't have to do any work on that end. You know what I'm not saying he not as far as the like getting the stuff and selling it. It's he can be his ideas and different ideas, which I'm sure he plays a big part in. But um, yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I would have to be able to look at the what was if it was a standard WWE thing and it's just for their merchandising and for the name and you know I don't know. Taking a look here. Yeah, the E files, E Island. You don't think that the names are ever going to come out, bro? It is. I just think it's crazy that it's not been pursued by anyone, and it just lets you know. I think of just probably how many powerful people are involved in this, and I don't know, man. It is. But it makes the whole system with everything. This is where I'm saying there's so many issues of everything, and we're in a tough position because a lot of us are comfortable and have certain freedoms and securities and like, but more and more people are not get having that and becoming increasingly hostile and impatient, and it's a really the more those scales get tipped that direction, the more dangerous things can become. But we need quality good people and more quality good people to come together to kind of take on this very powerful bad portion, and hopefully it's out there. Hopefully it's out there. Yeah, somebody asked what's up with Omos. I say both names, by the way. It's because I've heard both pronounced, and it's but Omos. What's up with Omos and Seth? Vince has no idea what he is doing. Well, I don't know if we haven't really been told any. I think we got to wait and see what the story is before jumping to conclusions on anything. It is out of nowhere, but now that has me intrigued to see. I want to see what's going to happen. Seth has always been quite protected in the WWE system, and in from the very beginning, even though he's still had to he's dealt with, I have no doubt, a lot of BS and stuff. But I instantly go back and look. I go, what happened then on the segment where there was a little bit of a, I don't even want to say an altercation, but where there were words between the production people and Seth, and something happening on Raw, right? With that Vince was supposedly back at, and Seth leaving. Was he need to leave the ring? And then is this something that has to do with that? And this is going to kind of play out. Is Seth going to punishment periods do exist? People punishment. We saw it with Triple H. You saw it with me with it, and then when I was with Rybaxel, they have Vince has he will not acknowledge it, but it is well known punishment periods for people in the doghouse, whatever you will, where he will book you in some situations that could be pretty far off from your character, for whatever, because he heard something. It doesn't even have to be true, but that's just the position of power he's in, and or if he thinks the talent needs to be reminded of something, and to send a message, that they will do stuff like that sometimes. And then other times it doesn't have to do that. He just could have something, it could be, this could have nothing to do with that. And it's just Vince wants to get Omos a big win after he's put over Bobby, Brock, and Braun, and needs to start getting on track because he's beaten a lot of guys. but he's lost to the three other big guys in the company, right? So this could possibly get him some very much needed momentum, a big win to keep. I mean, he's the largest guy on the roster ever, or one of, if just one of two or three guys of all time, right? So, and I enjoy watching him. I think he could still character development and is gonna play a big part of all of this, where things go as time goes on and how he handles certain situations and adjust. But I'm interested to see where it goes. Somebody says it's being reported as punishment for Seth for walking out of Raw after Mania. This very well could be. That could all be connected to what I said on that there, and that could be, if there's any legitimacy, because you never know what's true and not true, and things get put out that aren't true so much. Sometimes things are true with it, but it's allegedly with that. If that's the case, then we will see, how that plays out for Seth, and he'll be fine. He'll be fine, especially if they allow it, give him some time to go out there and tell a good story. But it'll be interesting if he just gets squashed in a really quick match with Omos. That's really interesting to see where they go and how Seth handles that. And but that kind of stuff does happen. That's not like out of left field or anything talking about that stuff. Do I think CM Punk versus Goldberg will happen like Eric Bischoff wants? I did see that Eric had mentioned that. I don't I don't know that I don't know. I don't know what the I think if they were able to, you got to look at things like stories, like what would the story be for that match? It's going to be Goldberg's retirement match with, I think I don't know. I think if they were somehow able to get that put together and tell a proper story leading up to the AEW All In, I think that's beneficial, I guess, to have it on the card as one of the matchups. And yeah, I think it's going to they're going to want a really strong card, top to bottom, of different things to appeal to all people, to really and hopefully sell that out and kill it with that. So, but I don't know. I could just it is you have to work, and I had to do it with Phil. You have to work at a little bit lesser intensity with in speed. And I don't know if Bill, I don't he moves still great, and he's intense. So I don't know. Not my problem with that. I think AEW, I'm looking forward to seeing the things that happen there. And to me though, if that match were to happen, I would like some sort of story with it, and see what route that's going to go. But you're asking for a lot of the guy that was out with an injury too, and has been getting hurt, and then going in, and Bill's been out again for a while, and it would be his last match, right? And sometimes those things could be disastrous situations, depending on, now if everyone trains and is in shape and ready to go, and all the work is put in, that there's no issues with that. But we've seen that be issues in the past with different talents and people. So you have to, you'd be crazy not to factor in that possibility. But also at the same time, if you've got a great card, and that, if that was put together and for whatever reason did not go well, though, people are still going to tune in to see it, right? Which would translate into a stronger buy rate, which is not a bad thing. And yeah, people won't be talking favorably about it, but that was not the design of it. This is a hit or miss, and we know we're going to have, 5 other hits or whatever, where we're not worried about that one as much. So, but I don't. I would be a little shocked to see that happen. I don't think it's out of the question. Do I ever think about going into acting where I could be Jason from Friday the 13th? Yeah, that's on one of my life goal boards. Become Jason Voorhees. That was the random question of the day. Not a. I've not given any thought to that. No. Thank you very much. It is crazy how fast time flies, and that 2014 Authority angle, brother. That was a tough one to. Came back and was told it was going to be babyface, and that angle was what side I was going to go on, team Cena or Team Authority, right? And that whole thing was that program, and like main eventing, going in Raws and Smackdowns, like it was a big angle, and it was crazy. That's when I knew that it was going to be forever. The booking on that came out for the pay per view day, and from things that we were told and what like the direction it was going had changed, and it went like. And then we had the Sting in there, but it was how Dolph deserved every bit of it, so I'll never get angry at it. Where Dolph was a surviving member, but if you would think if you do an angle around what side is it returning babyface who was a huge babyface before who's back in the role that he was doing before, what side is he going to go to? And he goes to the babyface side, and it gets a great reaction. Then like you just and this is where things get. Do you think it makes sense then to have that guy get eliminated right away in the match, even though we did protect me and it was took multiple finishers and with it? But if you go back and watch it, listen to the crowd, you'll hear the life of the crowd just get sucked out of them. Right there is because we did after everything that happened the first run of get hot, take it away. Things were going well already, and boom, like just didn't make sense. And I tried because I go little things like that, inconsistencies in the booking. I'm not saying I need to be the last, but you definitely need to make it. The angle was what side am I going to go on, and what side I go on is going to have the advantage, right? And the side I did go on did win with it, but I was taken out of that equation very early, even though it was a great showing. And but it was just little things like that. I go, where you go, who's thinking of these things of like what we just did for the past weeks building up to this, and like, but that's where I'd already known what everything, and I never complain. You got it, and I'd already known and had known for a long time with everything, and it was checked out already pretty much. So, but that was definitely, if you go back and listen to the crowd, you'll know what I'm talking about. And it's a very real thing, and it happens on certain things. You can become aware of it as fans when you hear that noise from a crowd, somebody who they genuinely like and want to see it, and if they don't pay it off at some point, you can see it's a big thing. Time does fly, though. Bobby says just mix 25 grams of peanut butter powder to your protein. So effing good. Great mix up. Love your supplements. Thank you, brother. I need to switch to the PB, the powder, because I'm still doing I do a serving of natural peanut butter. I love that in my app, but there's going to come a point where I'm going to have to cut the peanut butter out on some of the days as I keep dropping my calories strategically with this. And I haven't, it's not yet though. So, but that peanut butter powder tastes just like peanut butter when it's mixed. Peanut butter and the ISO Hungry vanilla mocha plant powered protein go together so well. It is. I drink it right after this show. I cannot wait to go make my shake. It balances me too, and my hunger stays very calm all up until the night till I'm ready to eat post workout, and that peanut butter goes well with it. Yeah, it's good to know that the powder one does. Even though I've had it in the past and knew it tasted like peanut butter, I need to order some more actually here on Amazon and have that on hand. Good to see all of you guys. Welcome to the Ryback Show. RT says peanut butter makes him constipated. I'm very sorry to hear that. That's never a good thing. I did want to mention, I forgot I had these sitting here because Kalisto, I always call him Kalisto. He's forever Kalisto to me. But they're a CBD company with him. I think Sasha's involved, right? And I call her Sasha because that's how I met her. But the Candela, their CBD products. I ordered. Actually, he gave me one of these at WrestleCon, and it's really, really good, and it's helped me a lot with the scar tissue. I keep breaking up more and more. with it, but they have a very powerful oil as well that you just put under your tongue, and it tastes very good. It's a Cosmic Colada full spectrum CBD oil, and the gummies are amazing as well. They're vegan friendly, no artificial sweeteners or colors on that, guys. With those, so check those out. Very high quality CBD products. Candela, I believe in the it's Cannndela. If you Candela, and they'll pull up their website on that. If you're interested in the CBD products, they sent me though a bunch of stuff when I placed my last order, so I was very appreciative of that, and it's very good, and they didn't have to with that. So if you're interested in the CBD products, you can. They are very good. Those gummies, I do 2 or 3 of them in the afternoon, and do another 1 or 2 of the oil at night, and I like it. I've been doing it since WrestleCon there, so. What are your thoughts on WWE piping in fake crowd noises? Um, I don't think that's not as big of a deal as what I think some people think. Oftentimes, it helps when you're trying to get certain people over, maybe in a certain way, and you're invested in them. But you got to remember, sometimes TV shows and the crowds can go really hot and really cold, and you could actually be nothing against the talent. It doesn't. It's just sometimes crowds fluctuate, and television wise, and there's commercial breaks, and they're sitting, and then they got to come back up to a ring, and like they want there to be noise because they might be doing the put the name on the screen as they're coming back from break, but people have just sat there for 3 minutes, and they don't have like crowds like TV shows where it says cheer, but they cheered when they came out, but they don't, you know what I mean? So there's instances where inserting the crowd noise is beneficial to the television viewer that are watching at home, and it does condition people if they're a good guy or bad guy based off how crowd reactions are. You could always tell when crowds are red hot and organic. You could see that, and for the talents and when they're really into it, and that's great. But that's why they oftentimes will insert things at other portions, and it's usually not. It's not so much on like the entrance of like, not to say that they haven't done that. I'm sure they have. But it's not. It's usually done more just to kind of make the ebb and flow of the show for the television viewer and whatnot. But yeah, it does happen and things. And there's other instances. And I think sometimes people look at that, they go, "Oh, they're piping in fake noise for them," so they think that they're over. Like, and they were like, it's not like to try to like necessarily deceive and trick you on that. And these people could be getting good reactions, and usually are getting a reaction with things, but sometimes at the right time in the right place, that can help get that more over if it's done at the right times and places, and then they're delivering on their end and getting more over, right? So it could speed that process up a little bit too, on it. But it's never, if somebody's just not getting any reaction, and it's just always, then it's not gonna, it's usually not used like that. So Yunes, thank you for asking that question. That's like something to talk about like in great detail. And you like, as far as what difficulties I've overcome in my pro wrestling career. I think anybody that's listened to this show, oh, needed a 5 disc fusion and shoulder replacement, and I'm 100% now. Dig in on that one a little bit. I'll let you do some homework, and we could revisit it later. That's just one little piece. I guess we have a lot of first time listeners. Have Ryback ever thought to do any stem cells? Yeah, about 19 times I've thought about it and done it. uh, Welcome to the Ryback Show. Yes, the 1, 2, 3 muscle joint tendon that could very well help with ankles. I don't. It's very, it depends again what the exact situation is, but that product, muscle tendon joints, and it helps lower inflammation. So it's gotten very positive reviews from people. I can't tell you it's going to fix everybody's problems, but it does work. I can assure you of that. As all the Feed Me More nutrition products, highest quality supplements that money could buy. Not to say that there aren't other great companies out there, but we put a lot into this. Ryback, is it possible to innovate in wrestling, or has it all been done before? I think everything is there's still people that are expanding upon what we're seeing in the ring, and you've got other people with different backgrounds, and they're going more the gymnastic route. I think that's something that probably I would say on the gymnastic uh, acrobatic aspect of the business, that there's a lot of ways that people can come up with different unique offense using the ropes, that we're seeing some people now. I'm not a fan like of the jumping on the ropes. What I think would make sense, this would just be my suggestion, when you have a talent and they want to do something. This is what I would say, because I always try to keep an open mind. But I don't think you should expose the product just to try to do a move to do something cool. Now, if we can make it make sense, and somehow, even if it doesn't make perfect sense, if we can at least not completely insult the intelligence of the viewers, that hey, we're watching a choreographed fight. Like, this is where I think you got it. This is where I think a lot of the younger talent could really, and with people that have done, they could really help instill this aspect of the business, to try to keep the real aspect of it as much as possible. It's always going to be pro wrestling, though, and I understand, in whatever we want to call it, physical acting, art, fighting, whatever. But if you've got a guy and he's holding onto your arm, and you're balancing, and he's holding onto your arm, and he's on the middle and top rope, jumping up and down, up and down, up and down, up and down, and you're just kind of there, it doesn't make any sense with it. There needs to be a reason. One, and if you're a babyface, I think that comes off as gloating. I don't think it is, even though it's really cool and impressive. If you eat it on that, it can look really bad. You want to know how you protect yourself, and then you can cover yourself. If you're doing the up and down, up and down, up and down spot, you've got a guy. All the other guy has to be doing is just trying to, like, he's trying to hit your feet, or trying to grab your feet as you're jumping up and down with it. And by the way, if you slip and fall, oh, you caused him to slip and fall, act and react. You could just boom, get a little bit of heat on him. You work around for a bit. If it's not that point in the match, you get him back on top eventually. You keep going with it. But like, stuff like this is just little things that so many people that like you don't really think about. But you got to always go, okay, this, you want to do this move, how can we get to this move as organically and natural as possible? What can you do to me before, so I'm not just standing there for 30 seconds waiting for you to do the spot? Like, this is stuff that, like, this is working in between that, and where you go, hey, maybe you take out 5 things, but we're going to get this one thing, and we're going to work, and we're going to tell a proper story to get to that one point, and you're going to get even better reaction on it, because they're going to kind of get it even more with it. And so I think on like that end, though, I think that you're going to continue to see an expansion of acrobatic moves, because I think those floodgates have been open. But I think the talents that can reel themselves in and do it in a way where it doesn't expose their opponent or insult the audience's intelligence are going to do the best overall with it. But everything, it's not a business that needs to be expanded upon outside of character development. It's just a matter of talents, um, knowing who and what they are, and what their style is, and what they want to go all in on, and what will allow them to be the biggest stars possible. And but there's always innovation upon, and things continue to get either added on or adjusted slightly with it on the moves and different things with it. And I've always watched that way and go, how can I do that? What can I do? What kind of move can I make that? And there's a lot of very creative people in wrestling, where I think we will see some different things, but eventually everything's going to be a variation of something, if it isn't already, right? So, super chat, Matt says, a little swig of water here. Big guy, was it a challenge managing your time starting your supplement company while training to get back in the ring on top of your injuries? It was everything was I would say everything was challenging. That I just went one day at a time, and I never looked ahead, like, oh my god, how long is this going to take? Or all I did was I continued to keep my good habits that I had, all that and through wrestling, and waking up at a good time and having structure to my day. And there were a lot of headaches and a lot of problems with all of this early on. And I just did what I could control, And I had a lot of learning. I was constantly listening to a lot of business audiobooks too, and marketing audiobooks, and and then my injuries, and then my dog's injuries with Sophie, and running everything, and then finally getting fulfillment, and in things coming together through all this hard work, and doing it. And um it was a good thing though, because with the injuries, and then in the wrestling too, and I was wrestling every weekend with all of this outside of. And I know before in 2016 I was training to get back in shape because I had my ear and nose fixed, and then to start doing the independence, which was like I think in October-ish or November, around that period, if I'm not mistaken, or maybe even August. I don't even. It was somewhere the last part of the year in 2016, last half of the year, last quarter of the year, with that. And in the supplement company, in organizing and getting all that started, and having different, getting business licenses, and having just to get so many things done. And it's pretty cool to look back at everything. And but I just went one day at a time, and that's what I do now. And like, to me, I just saw someone goes, don't they go, do you ever age? Or like, I go, I don't. I think I've been very blessed to kind of being able to keep myself together. And I would say, of course, I age. I'm not going to be, but I think I look very similar to what I always have. And I think that just comes from having good habits and taking care of myself, and not beating myself up too much over things I don't have control over. And I've constantly had practice of dealing with that, and whatnot. So they say you're the only one who destroyed the Shield. You really deserve to face Roman. Thank you very much. I had a lot of really, really good outings of 3-on-1, of taking out the Shield, from a character standpoint, with everything. And they cost me the WWE Championship multiple times, though. They cost me this. So it was like, it would oftentimes, the pattern would be like beat them up on TV a lot of the times, right? And with various partners or by myself at times, and then they would come and cost me a match at a big pay-per-view multiple times, or on TV and things. And so where they would kind of get the last laugh of, and it never paid off with me winning the championship, but still, like, if you were to put together a nice highlight reel of people who had the get best performances against the Shield, I think I would be at the top of that. From a physical acting standpoint, brother. How do I feel about gastric bypass weight loss surgery? It's not something I personally would ever do. I'm not. I guess so. I think that's a situation where, I guess, maybe in select circumstances it could maybe save somebody's life if there's a legit reason for getting it. I don't like people that just like, I can't do it. I can't diet. I can't. I eat like the. I don't think it's good for people that just have not improved their self control and go that route. Hey, none of my business. And I think, to me, like, and I knew a woman, who, a very good looking woman, and who was talking to, and that came up. She'd had that done. She lost a lot of weight, and it just instantly, it's a red flag in my book with women, though, because it's a sign of laziness and weakness oftentimes, and looking for an easy way out. And no offense, live your life. I wish you the best. That's my opinion on the matter for certain people that do it, that don't need to do it, that go that route. But for others, medically, where there is this life savings need, dire need of it, that's a different situation, right? But that's just for me how I interpret that as like, you didn't do the work to lose the weight, and you were not willing to, and you just saw an easy way out to go pay for surgery. It's like the girls, I stay away, girls that go get the fake injections, and the fake butt lifts with that, and the butt implants, and like, that is a to me, that is a mental weakness to avoid in people in general. And whether it's a guy or a girl, I wouldn't want a business partner because they look for the easy way out, and that, to me, can't be trusted, in my opinion. I strive for real. I like real. I like honesty. I like transparency. Welcome to the Ryback Show. Good to see all of you guys. Instagram stream just stopped. Appreciate all the love and support over on TikTok. See you guys over there. Thank you guys. Traps are looking extra big on TikTok today. Not too bad on here on the old straight StreamYard hard cam, but TikTok, good angle on the camera today. Check out that Feed Me More shirt, available on feedmemore.com. Yeah, we talk about the Tensai match on the Ryback show. There's literally clips on that. That has been talked about to death. Yo, welcome to the Ryback show. Appreciate all the love and support over here with you guys. You're very welcome for answering your question. Jack says, have you ever felt like you've had to come off social media altogether? Oh, I take breaks from it every day, and I make sure I have certain periods I go where I don't look at my phone at all. And because I use my phone a lot for work and for contacting people, and it is essentially a walking office. And I get all my orders, I see everything going on all day long. I'm emailed, CC'd on things with like constantly. It is very beneficial for me. The social media aspect, I just go like what I do is like because like I got to search for myself on Twitter to see people that tweet me. Twitter won't show me most of the time you guys responding to me. This is how messed up my account. Like it is a real mess with this. So I have to go search and find. I go, why am I not showing up in my timeline or people like I literally go search. But in that though, you'll see people that talk bad about you with that. And it's just like if I see it, I'm not gonna be like boom block real quick. But I hate even taking time. And so I'm just like, I think Twitter, I really feel like it's like that just so I have to go search and see this BS with it. And but I go, there's just times where I go, yeah, I don't care for any of this. And just I go, I'll stay off the rest of the day on the thing. I go, and just I think living in the real world as much as possible is always. I think the moment you start not feeling good using social media, time to take a break. Now, for some people, it's very beneficial though. Like I love it. Like I look forward to many aspects. I love laughing. I love seeing little Frenchies on there. Love seeing the hot chicks. My friends, different women I know. Hey, little Britty. There's little Britty in that bathing suit out by the pool, looking good. Fire emojis. That makes me feel good. Oh, there's a little Frenchie making cute little baby noises. I like that too. So it's very beneficial, makes you feel good. But when you start feeling bad and you've got people, you don't want to waste any time. People are whatever, just random comment of the day. You've just got people that go to your profile on a post you make that is getting millions of views, that they have 3 followers and they tell you, God, you're so irrelevant. When are you just going to go away? I'm like, bro, you just came to my page and commented like, by the way, you have 3 followers. This has millions of people watching it. Third most followed on TikTok behind The Rock and John Cena, just to name drop a couple guys you may be familiar with. Not bad for a guy that's been suppressed and not on TV almost 7 years. Not too shabby, my little buddy, who eats a whole pack of Starburst at once. Mark. Little Marks just they unwrap all the wrappers. They just have no common sense, and I'm going to put all these Starbursts in my mouth at once. That was what that reenactment was. That's how their brain, they're like, oh, whole pack, we just put the whole thing in our mouth and chew. Stupid. But I'm not on TV. But it doesn't even bother me. If it's not like I walked away. Like I'm happy. I'm healthy. Like I just don't understand like people. And it's not. This is where I go. It's just better. The best thing is to not see what these people. You don't want to hear their thoughts because they're not operating on a normal playing field, and they have all the time in the world to waste, and the hungry don't. So it's like that's where you just get away and like it's not even worth any time on this. But you do want to see the good, so it's like an investment. A little bit, get away. A little bit, get away. I think it's very smart for people to have managers, and I've talked about this, and I'm going to do this more and more. Where like I take the stuff off my phone for periods, and it can be a little bit of a hassle sometimes. But I look forward, and once I'm really in a really where I want with everything, having people run a lot of that for me for my what I post, like my post on like stories and everything. and having them, and just where maybe I tell them what to post, or I do it and then I'm good, and or having just a balance of both where I don't have to do as much on certain things, but because it's just more fun living in the real world. It's like all the people that tell me, like I laugh, like this is they go, oh my god, you'll never wrestle again, you'll never. I'm like, bro, like I don't know if you know how close we are with everything, but like, what are you gonna do to stop me from going and go back to a wrestling school, just get back and make sure everything's cool? Like I have contacts. Like, what are you gonna do to stop that? Nothing. Like I don't know if you think it's gonna. You think you're gonna stop me from just me? Hey, yeah, we're good. Got the paperwork ready to go. Do you think you're gonna stop that? I don't, or like if one thing doesn't happen, like there's going to be multiple paths that we could take. Like it's wild, like how some people just view all this. I'm like, that's the difference though between people that are hungry and people that sit on social media and whine and complain and bicker. And it's like, no, we know how, and I've done it my whole life. I know how to go work. I know that's what I'm doing. Even though you can say, oh, he's irrelevant. You don't. I am working every single day, making money and growing, like and got my health. Like you have no idea, like what, and just no concept of life or like. And so the best that we could just do is stay away from people with those mindsets like that. It's not beneficial. But like people like that, they can't stop. They can't stop you from going out and doing the work. They can't stop you from doing the reps. They can't stop you from going out there and putting yourself in a position to succeed. They try, but the only way that can stop you is if you stop doing everything and just argue with them all day. You then become them, and they win, and then you're miserable and that's why they're miserable because they've lost. So, hashtag hungry. We talk about the Tucker Carlson thing. I got to look into that. I just found out about this show in the beginning of this show, and I need to do a little homework on that. We could probably talk more about that tomorrow. Thank you very much, Maddie, for the very nice comment. KG, Kylie, good to see you. Thank you. You're the best. Hopefully, I'm assuming that's over the Starburst comment. Any groupie stories, ladies wanting a piece of the big guy. Yeah, I want to talk about that. There's nothing, I feel like that's just not stuff you talk about with any of that. Really, that's the kind of stuff that I just don't, coming on here and can brag or talk about a lot. I mean, I think I've lived a very good life and I'm very happy. So yo, good to see all of you. Welcome to the Ryback Show. Take a look here. Yeah, some people have deleted social media altogether and are very happy. Yeah, I think that is. I think though it is. You can definitely. It's just good to get control over when and where you use it, and I think it's just always wise to observe our usage. Like I see, there's times, what are you using it for? There's times you're like if you go to a restaurant and you sit down to eat, and are you just playing on your phone and wasting 20 minutes before looking at the menu, or are you like working? Like that's different, right? If you're working, so I think that's where self-analyzation and looking at how we use it, and if you go to the gym, and do we sit in the car and play on our phone for 20 minutes before we go in and 20 minutes before we go out? That's 40 minutes of our day gone. That can be where time goes by at times, is on the phone. And I think it's healthy to monitor your weekly usage and see what number, and like really stop when you get that number, and whatever it tells you, however long you're on your phone for the week, kind of say, how do I feel? Did I have a good week? Was I happy? And if so, and it says you were on it for 4 hours or 5 hours or 3 hours or whatever it is, 30 hours, 20 hours, 10, like just assess, how did you feel? Were you happy? Did you have a productive week? If not, then you could look and go, wait, maybe I'm spending a little too much time on things on here that aren't beneficial to my overall life. And that's just conversations we all need to be aware of and have with ourselves. at the various times. There we could have times where you want to go. I don't look at it when I go to bed. I put my phone over. It's on vibrate, and then I go to bed. I don't lay in bed and I go right to bed. I'm not. I'm out. And I get up and I put it in my pocket and I do all my morning stuff. And then when I'm ready I eat my breakfast and sit down, having my wake up unlimited energy, and all right, let's get going. So I have breaks and I can live and you're calm rather than like stressed. You're in bed looking and you're stressed or something's upsets you and you go to bed angry. I go to bed saying thank you every night. I go through another little bit of affirmations, have Sophie and little guy, and I just have very good routine with that. And that's just my routine. We all just got to kind of find something, and the key is just taking the breaks, whatever amounts that is beneficial for us. I do watch boxing at times. I did see that fight, the Tank and Ryan Garcia fight popped up on my TikTok, and somebody was streaming it that they had ordered. TikTok is wild, by the way, on how many fight. I don't know if you guys all the UFC things. There's a few things I've not ordered, and those pop right up by multiple people. The whole thing, and I'm like, this is wild. How? And I don't know if TikTok's like cracking down on trying to like, but a lot of people, these things get thousands and thousands of people. I mean, there's some they get 15, 20, 25,000 live viewers. I'm like, you know how many people are like that's just one stream with it. But it pops up on your phone. I didn't order the fight. I didn't want to. I'm not going to not watch it. It pops up on TikTok from somebody streaming it, and I saw that liver shot, man. Those painful, painful, painful. Like anyone that's saying anything, that is. Oh, it hurt just watching that, and hopefully we'll see if there's going to be a rematch at some point or whatnot. But I do occasionally enjoy watching a good boxing match. I enjoy doing it a lot. It's one of my favorite things, actually. It's probably my favorite discipline of MMA. I really love striking. I really love boxing. I always have been since I was younger. Yeah, and I enjoy doing all of them, but boxing is just it's just a personal favorite. I just think there's just something about just using our fist, and I don't know. It goes back to my Neanderthal caveman days. No, I never had ever thought about joining the military when I was younger. I'm very thankful to the men and women, everyone that serves our country and sacrifices their life and for our freedoms and the things that we have and take for granted every day. And um, I always just was very athletic, played sports. I didn't come from a family uh, where that was anywhere in my direct family or relatives, you know, first cousins or anything. And so it just never was something, whereas if you're raised into a military family, I think you're more likely, and that's where a lot of probably things, or if you're lost in life and you really don't, you're young and you don't know what to do. I think that so many people have gotten their lives on tracked and right where I think it's very beneficial. Depending, I never had that conflict at a young age or anything, and things were always very good and worked very hard and was into athletics. But I'm very thankful. After I got the flag in my gym in there, and always was just everything in the world because these are the people that our first line of defense with everything and sacrifice their lives. And I was always really happy on WWE Tribute to the Troops to go meet the troops uh, and like in the Navy, been on the ships, and even though I was stressed the hell out going on those ships, I don't like going underwater like that. And but you don't think about it when you do it. But I was just like, "Oof." I don't know how those people, man, they're living underwater all year, 8 months out of the year, or on missions for 6 months or all year. Like it's wild. And it is to see though the sacrifices that different people make, to live their lives that benefit us though from the work that they do. That's why I always think about the world. We all are all connected, man, and how we all play a part, or do things by how we live our life. Like you never know, like people, with things that I do, and now like and just say I didn't have my supplement line but you could that is helping people change and transform their lives and lose weight and feel better. that thing, right? By me just doing what I love, and when I do this show and talking, I've had people that say I've helped them get out of depression or motivated them to lose 100 pounds or to change their life. And I'm just living my life and I'm doing things and hopefully go back and add wrestling back into that, which also motivates people, inspires people to go that route and that path. But in us, by following our path, we inspire other people to go their paths. And like just through the various things that we do. And that's one of the reasons this show, I like doing this, because this allows me to kind of give back and help and to whoever it can. And it also helps me. It helps me with my supplement company. It helps me with my show. It helps get me out there. But it's a way that I feel like I can do good still in what I'm doing, and I enjoy it. And the world, we all can motivate and inspire each other. You know, with what we do. My dog Sophie has motivated me and inspired me beyond words to get healthy when my back was completely shot, because she blew out all those discs and 8 surgeries and paralyzed twice. I'm all messed up. I can't even sit on the floor. I'm in so much pain, and I have to be on the floor and wincing in pain, trying to help teach her how to walk again. And like, in seeing this little brave little soul, like never whine, and I was like, I could do this. I was like, she was paralyzed. I could still walk. I could do this. And like, it's my dog motivated me to got me better, help me with that. And it's like we all aspects of life, all of us can help and motivate each other with whatever we do. So I'm very, very thankful for all the people that serve our country. And whether we agree with the way everything is or not, these people are still sacrificing and doing what they choose to do to protect us. And the world's a crazy place. Good to see all of you guys. Omaha, Nebraska. Terry, thank you very much for joining the Ryback Show. Taking a look. I do not believe wrestlers get paid extra to bleed. You never know though. If it's I don't bleeding was not allowed in my time in WWE. So yeah, as far as Leonardo says, the social media, it also proves to you that you just don't need it. A lot of people feel like they need social media. It's bonkers, right back. Well, and the reason why a lot of people feel like we need it, and it is very beneficial, and it does connect us, and it allows, but it could also be overkill if we don't monitor our usage and get all like caught up in what everyone else is doing in their lives. And that's what I do. Even on my thing, if I start on the stories and all of a habit, you start clicking on people's stories, and I'm like, I stop, I catch myself, I go, nope, I'm done. And I get up, start moving. I go, I gotta get this done. And I don't need to be sitting here watching what these people are doing all day. It's great, and they're doing their thing, but that's where you just got to know. But we got to know, follow, people we want to follow that make us feel good with that. And but social media does connect us. This show, it allows us to, and it can be used for a lot of good with it. And it's also, you just can't though. We just got to know how to use it for good and not for bad. But before this stuff existed too, people, life was a lot lonelier in the sense of this didn't exist. So what would you do? And then a lot of people, whether we had television and whatnot, and that was one way. But like you had to go out to be around people. This is why going out and things that people don't feel that need to go out as much, because we can kind of connect. We do connect online where we don't feel like we're not hidden, right? We people can see us. So it kind of can it on that end, people may not be as motivated is to want to go do things. And I think that's where you have to really monitor and see, is it really affecting you in that way, and seeing, I don't know. I just think it's a fine line, but I can't imagine getting this from birth as a baby. You had little kids having cell phones and tablets, and can you imagine just how addictive all this stuff is? And it's a crazy thing with it, and this is why. But we see the changes rapidly happening with human behavior, and there's like you're seeing how young people, and it's a wild, wild thing, and not a lot of people having a lot of difficulty communicating in real life and in person, and it's pretty wild to see. Jack, this is a really good comedy. He goes, I think if we all lived like it was 2002 again, without smartphones and social media, uh, we'd all be happier. I do think that that would be a huge positive for human civilization long term if we were somehow able to do that. But it's impossible, and there's too many people. And this technology is great with it, and there's so much good. It's the problem. The thing is, we just have to know how to filter out the bad, and unfortunately, most people don't know how to do that with it. And the more we can control that, the more it's having that balance of the real world and social media. But with AI and things, it's just going to get crazier and crazier in the technology, and people using it for bad ways. And I don't know, man. I don't know. Lack of empathy these days. Yeah, but we just can't let that be our story. But there are a lot of people with a lack of empathy, and it's the world is in a way been like that for a long time, but it is more prevalent on social media. Good to see all of you guys. Welcome to the Ryback Show. Thank you for subscribing. Nokia, good to see you. Welcome to the Ryback Show. Our kick out immune system support is awesome. I have only been sick one time, and I don't know, has it been like 10, 11 years? 10 years? I just got COVID. That was in 20. I didn't just get that was in 2021, maybe. I finally got it, but it was gone really quickly. And I doubled up, tripled up my kick out and immune system support. And it was it was not even bad at all. The worst part about it was a little bit of the taste thing being altered with it, but it is the real deal. I'm very proud that we were able to get that out. I gave that out for free as a free gift for a good part of COVID for people, and I try to do my best in having a business and helping people as much as I can. I really think I'm interested to see, with Trump coming back, our country was in a much better position. I think the more videos you watch, he's human, he's not perfect, but I think I really like seeing him out. He's doing a lot of things. I believe he's doing what Andrew Tate. He's using social media. He's doing very popular podcasts and talking to popular people with young kids, and he's coming off very well with these. And this is something you would never see Biden or these people. This is what I think the approach he's taking is brilliant in going into 2024 with what he's doing. And if you look, it's all these clips of Trump on social media, and they're relevant. They're today. They're like now talking to people that are very popular, a lot of young people. And I think that's a very smart strategy on his part with it, and he seems much more down to earth, and I like the way that he's coming across. You got to remember, this is a guy, and you're dealing with massive level amounts of hate. He dealing with more hate than probably any human being, as well as much love. But any time in politics, whatever side you go on, the other half just hates you usually, and it doesn't matter what you do. It's insane. It's why the whole thing is just a head scratcher with it. But like all I could say is everything in our country was far better when he was president than with the current administration. So, and it is directly as a business owner affected my life and my cost and everything, in everything bills. Just seeing, I go, I don't like what's going on, and I don't feel good about their lack of transparency and their inability to communicate. We have a president who cannot communicate and cannot talk clearly, and it is a privilege to get old. but has no business being the president of the United States at his age with what is going on. It is a very real concern, and it reflects all of us. And I want it all to work out because it's all. I never want a president to do bad, but this guy has not helped my life one bit. He's made my life way more difficult than it was when Trump was in charge with that. So, and I don't give a damn about political affiliation or any of that. I care about real world results and real world how our day to day lives, and I think that's most people with that. And you know, I just don't feel good about the direction things have gone. Bro, are you asking me if you had your own podcast, if I would be a guest on it? You don't even have a podcast. How are you going to say if you had a podcast would I be? What's the name of the show? Have you even came up with an imaginary name yet? What do you talk about? How do I know what is you got to give me some details of this made up show, man. Bro, if I had a podcast, would you do it? Like, yo, dude, man, like, what's the show about, man? Come on, help me out. If I had a podcast, would you do it? Jesus. Is this CJ, the guy that asked for happy birthday? Good to see all of you guys. Have a good one, Leonardo. Thank you for stopping by the Ryback Show. You are going to see me. You are going to see me wrestle again. It's inevitable. I made a tweet. I love the people that have no. There's still a good amount of marks, negative, hateful wrestling people, whatever you want to call them, that have no concept of my sense of humor. That I make posts just to rile these people up. They help me every time. I made the Twitter post with me, the photo, which by the way, people in the photo go, "Oh my God, Ryback's gotten so small. He's lost all his muscle." That photo was prime Ryback in WWE, by the way. 291 pounds, jacked, and like I am now with everything, look pretty much identical with it, and not even realizing that photo was taken backstage for Arnold. All of us got to do Terminator stuff because he did the thing with Hunter for the WrestleMania, and they were stuff for the video game. I think with Arnold being in the video game, and Brooklyn Brawler got a bunch of us and did like shots with it, and they had their leather jackets in there which didn't fit. Like they were smaller fit, so they make you look what it's just whatever with it. You're doing it for Arnold with that, but that put that out, and that I'm the one man to save pro wrestling, just because I know they're gonna react if they see it. And sure enough, the silly dirt sheets post it, and that's how I get seen on Twitter. That we got that post seen all by the dirt sheets posting the damn thing, and then what it does is then it just gets hate on it or whatever for the most part. But it's like I absolutely love when it works in my favor like that, and they get so upset over it. It's just like, you only help me when you get. I don't know if you realize, like, you just make it. You're giving me a layup to be a heel. You're giving me an absolute layup, but they'll never get it. They can't control themselves. Jay Tony, you're gonna write down names for a podcast. All right, Jay Tony, write those names down. If you had a podcast, what would it be called? You got to know what you're going to talk about. You got to have what kind of equipment you're going to use. I need to make sure this is a top notch podcast if I'm going to be on it with you, Jay Tony. Thank you very much, Ryan. I appreciate the support. Don't waste too much of your time going after people. It's a factory line of them. You're never going to, even if you change one of their opinions, it can take you forever and you will gain nothing out of it. And there's going to be a factory line of others right behind it. So it's just a matter of, you know, but it is, I think one of the big things, social media, the one bad thing with the trolls, like in the bad comments, is like, you can't do anything about it physically. And that's always, it's like a real, so it's just best, just let it go. Let them, because there's always going to be a portion of people to say something no matter what we do, because everyone has different likes and interests in things that they don't like. And we can't, people only understand from their own level, their own perception level, and what they've read or what they've learned and how self-aware they are. And it's just like, like I said, people want to go read negative, hateful things that aren't true about me and form really strong opinions, hey, let them. Enough people know me. I know myself. Real people that know me know me. I'm not, I'm not gonna, waste my time trying to convince you otherwise. It's just not worth my time with it. Appreciate all the love and support. Yeah, being a wrestling is a lot of fun. It is. It is. It is. It's one of my favorite things in the world, quite frankly. Thank you for telling me I'm the greatest. I'm just me, man. I appreciate that you think very kindly of me, though. Thank you. A good meal plan for cutting would go to feedmemore.com. Look at our BMR calculator. It's free. Basal metabolic rate calculator. Plug in your info, and then you need to figure out the amount of calories you need to consume to keep your weight what it is, and then adjust it on the calculator with how much weight you want to lose, and it'll give you a ballpark idea of how many calories you should be consuming each day. You then have to start meal planning on your, if you need 2,000 calories a day, you want to do 4 meals at 500 calories each, or you want to do 2 meals at 1,000 calories each. You have to do that work and figure that out, what your schedule is, but that BMR calculator will get you the first step of, oh, I need this many calories. Now you got to look at the foods that you're eating, and you got to do a little work. This is how people do this, though. This is how people get in shape. This is stuff we should all learn as we're kids. It should be mandatory. But then the country would have people that are healthy and understand that can make consciously good health decisions, because we would have been groomed to understand this stuff that unfortunately we know or don't know based off who our parents are or whoever raises us. And if we come from families that have no clue about this, chances are we're going to have no clue about it. Or if we don't, you know what I mean? So many people, I remember being young and not having any idea how food worked. I didn't know that my body would change eating a whole bag of Doritos or eating a whole package of fruit snacks. I didn't know that eating all the cookie batter that my mom's making cookies and stealing the bowl and eating it like a savage caveman discovering sugar for the first time. Like, I didn't know that makes my body change. I just know it was really good with that, right? And so then finally, though, and then I started learning this stuff, which is we have to do the work, though. And we live in a day and age where we have a lot of information. And I hope to always just get your minds thinking on this stuff and the things and the words that I say to inspire you to go down and start doing your own work. And it will benefit your lives doing so. If you think you have a slow metabolism, coconut oil, 2 to 3 tablespoons a day, coconut MCT oil can be very beneficial to getting your thyroid firing on all cylinders. Obviously, too, there's different things, and people are more carbohydrate sensitive. There's times in where we got to adjust our carbohydrates, and we live in the processed food era where we think our bodies, the more natural foods that we eat in their raw state and get away from the processed foods on a consistent basis, our bodies just tighten up and look good. I'm telling you, it is. It's just it's crazy, and the food tastes good with everything, but it's balance, and you gotta have our priorities in order. Though we live in wild times, man, and we got to be very conscious of every decision we make. But with that, guys, we're going to go ahead. We're going to wrap up today's show. Always greatly appreciated you guys swinging by. We're going to be back tomorrow, Wednesday and Thursday. Have a new feeding time on Friday here, weekend off, and we'll continue that routine for the foreseeable future with everything. Please check out my Feed Me More Nutrition on feedmemore.com. All the Ryback merch. I'm wearing the Feed Me More shirt here. We've got a bunch of different shirts. We got a new shirt, The Truth Always Wins. That's going to be coming out very soon on the website. And it might already be up. I got to check with that, but I'm going to be going pretty hard on the marketing on that for politics, with my situation with my social media. The truth always wins, and we're gonna make that a popular shirt, because I think that's truth and transparency, gold and silver, 2023. So thank you guys very, very much. Let's have a great day, and until next time, my friends, stay hungry, feed me more.